Hello and welcome to Witches and Wizards Confessions channel. Today's confession is from a young lady who is confessing to bewitching her boyfriend's wife, who happens to also be her aunt. It reads as follows. Hi Mama Zala, I saw your post on it. She stepped with knives and a doll. I've put that curse on my baby daddy's wife and now I can't seem to reverse it. We often make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions, and we are going to live with the consequences for the rest of our lives. When I was younger, I fell in love with a married man. The man was a wealthy man, and he was married to my mother's cousin, which makes her my aunt. I just could not help it. I was young and naive. He convinced me that he was unhappy in his marriage, and I believed him. I took very good care of him. When my mother found out that I was dating that man, instead of reprimanding me, she encouraged me to make sure he never leaves. My mom didn't like her cousin much. She said that the cousin was full of herself. It took me a while to realize that the cousin is not full of herself. She's disciplined and thrives for all she wants, not forgetting a hard worker who's done very well for herself. My mother, on the other hand, bateskolo ati abafana the boys. So basically, she chose dating over school. She was just envious of her. Jealousy is very dangerous. I eventually fell pregnant and the man started acting weird. He told me how much he isn't ready for a child and even gave me money for termination. I was hurt because I had fallen in love with him. But it was becoming clear that he lied about his marital problems. He started spending more time at home with his wife, ignoring my calls and everything. He then broke up with me. My mother was very furious and took me to a sangoma from Malawi that she knows. When we got there, the sangoma said he can make the man run back to me begging for forgiveness. My mother then told him to make the man leave his wife, then marry me. He gave us muti to use. I would bath 3 times a day with the muti, calling the man's name. I even had to sprinkle some muti on my private part and tell the muti to drive the man crazy when he starts thinking about my private part. The third was for him to hate his wife. Within 2 weeks, the man came back to me and everything went back to how it used to be. Even though the man was now mine, my mom's focus was on his wife. The wife was still living a very fruitful life. You could see that with or without her husband, she was still on top of her game. She was not dependent on him at all. That angered my mom, and she took me back to the Malawian Sangoma. When we got there, I had to tell him that my baby daddy wants to marry me, but the problem is his wife. The man then asked what we would like to see happen to the wife. My mother said she wants her life to be at a standstill. She wants her to lose everything, and after she has tasted poverty, she must die from depression. The man gave us muti. He instructed us to find a very big tree that is strong enough to stand the winds and hurricanes. A tree that is unlikely to fall anytime soon. He gave us a doll, a needle, a knife, and a colorful wool straps. He called the doll by the wife's name and poured muti on it. He said we must take that doll and stab the needle in its eyes. That will be us blinding her future and that she sees nothing fruitful. With a wool strip, we must tie the doll on a tree and make sure that the hands and legs are wrapped around the wool. That will be to ensure that she will do nothing fruitful. Her life will be at a standstill. because she will be like a statue. The husband will never look back and he will chase her and her children out of the house. The knife, we used it to stab the tree. By doing so, we are ensuring that the mess in her life is as sharp and deep as a knife stab. Lastly, we took the needle and pinned it on her private part so that each time she may try to do the deeds with my baby daddy, she will then feel excruciating pain on the private part. We waited for the night to come and we did everything as we were told. We went into the bushes and performed the curse successfully. Within a month, she got fired from her workplace. Her eldest son got stabbed to death while thieves were robbing him. Her daughter started using drugs and ran away from home. My baby daddy wanted absolutely nothing to do with them. He divorced her and chased her out of the house. She didn't even fight the divorce or anything for that matter. She has now moved back to her parents' house. Luckily, she built them a very nice big house before they died. Now she lives with her little brother and his wife and kids. They say she seems to have lost her mind and a bit. She just sits around alone and starts talking to herself and laughing out loud all by herself. We moved into my husband's house, but the problem is that there is something forcefully sleeping with me at night. My husband has completely lost his mind. He soils on himself and doesn't want to bath. He lives like a hobo, and I've even left him to roam around the streets because, wow, I can't anymore. My mom has chased him out of his own house. His family is always harassing and cursing me. All this has made my child have anger issues. He even beats me and smokes drugs too. He steals and has been arrested for rape and has done so many house burglaries. He even steals from me too and is always promising to kill me. My life couldn't be more of a mess. I have recently buried my mother and everything went from bad to worse. I need to reverse all the spells, but the Malawian Sangoma is no more traceable. They have moved back home to Malawi. I have confessed and asked forgiveness from the wife and went to the tree to take out everything, but still nothing is changing. My life is a mess. I believe that by messing the wife's life, I have also messed my own. By cursing somebody, sometimes you are cursing yourself. Please find me help. I have confessed, I have been to different churches confessing and just letting it all out, but nothing seems to help. Please, please, please free me from my own curse. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more confessions.